The importance of the clefs. The clefs is to show us which of these 5 lines, what notes they represent, if they represent. I will start with the neutral because actually the neutral clef is the one used for the drummers. Okay, that's what they will use. It's just 2 lines in the middle of the 2 spaces, the middle 2 spaces, 2 lines parallel like that. And you can use either a cross, a circle, or a circle with a note with a cross inside. You can show different. So this could be a cymbal. This could be the bass drum would be on the low, and the other drums would be in different positions.
Do you
this
have
is
a
to
piece
show.
where
Yeah, I can show you that after. So that would be that. The other clefs that are being used today is the bass clef, which is the lowest clef, where you can see the treble clef is the highest clef, where the G is here. Notice how now suddenly that G went 3 ledger lines above. So these are called ledger lines, above and below. They are the extension of the staff. That you're selecting an extension of the staff. This is how it looks. So they are parallel to these lines. They go on in infinity. The alto clef is the other clef being used. Is the C clef on the 3rd line, which means that this C here is now here. The G is now here. The tenor clef is also another clef used, where you see the 3 notes and placement. So actually the notes on the staff are lower than these ones here. The bass clef is the one that is the lowest, where you see the F that was here 3 ledger lines below suddenly is now on the 4th line. The grand staff is using the 2 extreme clefs, the ones at the highest and the lowest, and is mixing the 2 to give us this graph, which is 10 lines, an invisible line in the middle, and 5 invisible, and 5 lines again below. So it would be like 11 lines graph. You could also write it as though we had a middle C here, right? The clef of the C in the middle. Okay. Generally, space is given between the 2. So here is the same rewritten. Notice that this and this note are the same. This is very good. The grand staff is a very good way of knowing, of writing for choir, for example, orchestral music. You can originally write it this way, and then you orchestrate it. Because here you can put the highest instruments and the lowest instruments. So you can put all of them. When there is not enough, when the instrument is really higher than the pitches that are, we use the octave sign above the clef or below the clef. So if it's above, then everything that is written there is sounding an octave above. You can even use the 15th higher, which means that everything that is written is 2 octaves above. That's the maximum. Our instruments don't go higher than that. And that was actually beyond, nearly beyond this.
So when you write
range.
8, it means octave above.
Octave up, sounding double the frequency, hertz, in hertz. If you were to put it scientifically, it's an octave above.
Okay, so.
Or an octave below.
But what if you're already writing in a high? Oh yeah, okay. So do you cut? Then that doesn't make sense to write an octave above if your instrument doesn't go that high.
Yeah, and the other
Okay.
thing that is a problem is ledger lines. As you can see, they start getting confusing for the one playing the music, because they are used to their instrument. This is where most of the music would be for them. Then sure, violins do go to here, they even go higher than that, piano does go higher than that, but we use it in a very logical way to make not confusing the musician playing it.
How?
By if necessary, we can use an octave above sign. If necessary, if it's okay, you have to see the occasion where for the pianist it's easier to leave out the ledger lines or not. I can read up to 4 or 5 ledger lines above, which is 5 and 5 ledger lines above. I have no problem to know what notes they are, but much more above that unless.
So basically, you're saying, in essence, if you're writing already and you end up writing so high, then maybe there's another way for you to just bring one octave down, and then it's on the line.
Yeah. The other thing, as a composer, you also see how annoying it is by hand to write those notes. Now, sure, we have a computer, so that will be easy as writing anywhere else. But by hand, there's that. There's also another issue. If you have another instrument here, you need to give so much space, right? So it's like everything is out. So we try and keep as much as possible everything on the 5 lines.